Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Witchy World TV. I'm Rhonda Allen.
Yeah, and I'm Starr Ravenhawk, and be glad to have you here tonight. Tonight, we are
Tonight,
proud to welcome David Wood to the Magical Witchy World TV.
and here we go.
This witch don't do pagan standard time, but I'll make time if you're worth it.
David, it is so exciting to have you here. Thank you so
Hi,
much
everyone.
for joining us. So,
Hi, thank you for
before we
having me.
actually, happy to have you. Before we actually start our discussion, I actually want to go through your bio. So, I'm going to read your bio for everyone here, okay?
Ooh, yeah.
David Wood has the ability to have you dancing in a club all night or rocking out in your car. If you like the spooky atmosphere that Stevie Nicks creates with her music, along with the vocal style of Alison Moyet, Erasure, and Depeche Mode, you will absolutely love David Wood. David has also been compared to the vocal style of George Michael, Boy George, and yes, even Tina Turner as well. He just keeps cranking out his own original music, and however he wishes it to sound, he can more than pull it off vocally and musically. I'm not done, David. David Wood is a mainstream recording artist based in Columbus, Ohio. His music has been described by local media as the pop dance alternative with a dash of soul. Unabashed and oftentimes unclothed, David has established a following in many different communities. Yep, we're bringing it all in. From high energy dance music and soulful ballads to the erotic and mystical, his music continues to appeal to a wide variety of audiences. David has toured the national club circuit and performed at many festivals from his humble beginnings in 1990 to present day. He has continued to make himself available to such charitable groups as the American Cancer Society, where he performed with his dancers at the Ohio State University Horseshoe, the American Diabetes Association, and the Columbus AIDS Task Force. Music has been written by David Wood for local television commercials and radio advertisements, and he has managed to have small amounts of radio play and interviews with his original material. We are
Okay.
going to be we're going to be sharing your website as well, but thank you again for joining us.
Yes. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
honored. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I actually, David and I met. I forgot what year you performed at Witches Fest. What year was that?
2017.
2015.
2007.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that was a few years back. So it's great having him with us here tonight. So I wanted to kind of ask you, because we're going to have this little discussion with you tonight. What
Mhm.
was your inspiration for some of the writings and makings of your songs?
Oh, wow. My love life primarily. Uh, I was in, I probably started out from high school going into a mainstream recording industry, trying to get a recording gig and all that from major record labels, and moved to Columbus, Ohio, where it was easier to find a manager and stuff. And we'll end that story. But and but uh, when I turned, I've been pagan since 1987. I'm a witch, and in 1987 and stuff, and probably in the early 90s, early to mid 90s, I started saying, well, I'm going to sing about my faith. Why not?
Right on.
Other people do,
Yeah.
you know. uh,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
so I do both. I will do mainstream
Mhm.
songs of my own, and I'll also do witchcraft songs of my own. So it just depends
Beautiful.
on the mood I'm in and what the music sounds like to me, you know.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. And that kind of
Awesome.
leads
That's
into
awesome. And
and
it
you
makes
already
sense. It does make sense.
Mhm.
and you already
Go
tapped
right ahead,
into a
Rhonda.
little bit of my next the question I was going to ask, and that is, how or what or how do you refer to yourself? How do you refer to yourself? And you said you refer to yourself as a witch. And
Oh, I was going to say bitch,
but hey, there's that too. We'll embrace that. I would embrace that.
Whatever
Absolutely.
you wish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And was that like a slow growth, or was it just like you always knew that this was who you were?
you're talking about which, right?
Yes. Yeah. You know. I'm talking about which, yes.
Yes. I sort of
I don't think
always
she's asking you about the other
knew.
one, probably.
Yeah.
Not that one.
I always knew.
Right on.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
I always knew that I was, and I studied on my own and did all kinds of deep research on my own before I ever joined a traditional lineaged Wicca downline.
Right.
And so it was 1987 when I
Ah,
realized did a term paper on it in high school, my
fabulous.
senior year and of high school, and um, basically it just hit me. A book fell out at Walden Books. You remember those mall bookstores?
Yes.
Walden Books. A book fell out, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is what I've been looking at, and that's what I want."
That
And
is
I,
amazing.
I
Yeah.
turned around this whole big new age shelf, and it was like, oh wow.
You're like,
So
I'm
there I was.
excited.
That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That is so awesome. That's
Mhm.
great to have you. Okay, so and you kind of went into a little bit of what I was going to ask you as well, because I was trying to get your point of view from your point of view. What does it mean for you to be a witch? What does it mean in the sense of, I guess, like anybody else with any other religion that there is
Mhm.
out there? What does it
Mhm.
mean to you?
Well, that's exactly what it means. My religion is just as important to me as any other person's religion is to them out on the street. And I'm really tired of the debating and all the arguments and stuff like that. It's me. I'm going to do me just like you're going to do you. So shut up and move on.
Hmm.
You know, I'm
Right.
tired of battles. I don't have time for it. I,
Right, right.
I don't want to stand up and fight with people. It doesn't mean I won't. It's just,
Right.
You'll
it's,
defend. You'll defend yourself. That's
Yeah.
good.
I am totally comfortable with being a witch. A witch is who I am. The broom closet is open. The
Well said.
sexuality closet's open. It's just walk through it because,
Right on.
yeah.
That's
No,
great. That's great. At least you're comfortable. It shows you're comfortable with yourself, and that's a good thing. And we should all be.
Hmm.
that's a huge thing. That's an
Yeah.
absolute huge
And
thing. Yeah.
in today's climate, yes, it
It,
is.
it
Be
is. It
comfortable with
is.
yourself. Yeah.
Well, love yourself. I mean,
Yes. Yes. To me, it's all about doing exactly that.
mhm.
Loving yourself for
Being
who you are, identifying who you are, and being able to feel
Mhm.
like it's your right, just like anybody else's, to just state who you are without, negative connotations or
Mhm.
negative
Mhm.
reactions.
Well, and
You
when
know,
you're comfortable with yourself, you don't have to go preaching it either. You know,
Exactly.
I'm this, I'm
Precisely.
that, I'm this. Charles, my doggy's going crazy. Charles, come here. Come here.
Oh, we love the
he
fur
wants to
babies.
join in. He
He,
We
wants to
love the
join.
fur babies.
it's amazing because he's winning his contest out on the internet as well for most well loved pet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, that's
He
great.
and we've also had him in commercials.
Oh
oh, really?
wow.
So it's a
He's
household
like,
of
I'm earning my keep.
entertainers.
Yeah, so
He's like,
yeah,
I'm earning my keep. Okay, so
it runs in our family.
That's
yes.
it. That's awesome. So being open, and I'm going to say use the word authentic. I'll just use that word. So being authentic with your spirituality, with your religion, and being able to live that
Mhm.
out in the world. How then are you as a magical practitioner? How is that integrated into your daily world, into your lifestyle? How do you manage to put
How
that?
does
Because everyone's
magical
busy.
work? You know what? I think it goes without thinking.
Mm,
It's like there's times when when you go to work or to a store and you have an uneasy feeling, like I got a weird feeling about going today or something like that.
yeah.
I'll just put my hand on my car and reflect energy to all four tires and Solomon seal, and here I go. I've got a protective
Well
energy
done.
around me on my own trip. But I don't think about it as, oh, I'm a grand witch. And it just is because I
Yes.
have practiced for so long and I've taught many students, and it is what it is.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I don't think about, ooh, you know?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. That's an
Yeah.
excellent point. It doesn't have to be all
Mhm.
of we're not talking about ceremonial magic at this
Right.
point. We're just saying this is just a part of what I do every day.
It is.
Fabulous.
It is.
Fabulous. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
if you have time to throw a big circle around yourself while you're doing that, that's great because that
Sure.
circle holds and elevates that energy, you know.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
So it's like you
Awesome.
can't boil water without a cauldron or a
That's
pot,
it.
you know.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, yeah. I was just sitting back and wondering because I know you do different events or festivals and different things like that. What's one of the highlight events you got to participate in?
Well, always the Witches Festival in New York, you know.
You're not just saying that because we have you on here,
Because
but
it's just
we'll take
fun.
it. We'll take it.
Of course
Right.
I am, but
I'm
no,
gonna pat ourselves
it
on the
was a
back
big deal.
because
From a little guy in Kentucky going to New York on a gig and actually remembering it, that it was nice to me. It was very
yeah,
nice, and Starr treated me like gold.
Fabulous.
And so that
thank
was a
you.
big one. The same year, I was nominated and won Best International Pagan Music Association
Oh
Award.
wow, that is
Fabulous.
awesome.
That's
That is so awesome.
huge.
Got a nice trophy and all that, and I'm nominated again for 2023.
Oh wow, that is so
Congratulations.
cool.
So,
Okay,
Congratulations.
so I'm
That
like
is fabulous.
sort of befuddled, you know. It's a big deal. So but as far as you know, I have had my day in the limelight in club gigs and things like that, very nice clubs all around the country. And now I'm just back in Columbus, Ohio, and taking it easy here lately. But I'm still got my recording studio equipment. I've got new
Excellent.
refurbished stuff, and I'm getting ready to do some more. So.
Excellent. Well, now on that note, that leads us straight into the next thing, which is,
Mhm.
we understand that you can be a little impromptu regarding some of your music. So would you mind giving us a little something, something?
Oh well.
You know.
Well, how about this is for both of you?
Thank you.
oh, okay. I'll take it.
You are so beautiful to me. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. You're everything I hope for, and you're everything I need. You both are so beautiful to me. There you go.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that is
that is
beautiful.
so
That is
awesome. Thank
fabulous.
you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm gonna take all of it and walk with it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna have
Yep.
to include names. I'll have
That
to
is
include
so
names. Yeah.
wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, that's just awesome.
Uh,
Okay. You know what I wanted to ask you? Do you or have any new releases? And what are they?
Not yet. The latest one is the song you played at the preview, and that's called King Bitch. And
Okay.
it's not
King
Okay.
about
bitch.
me. It is if anybody has listened to the words, it's got I think between 2 and 4,000 plays on YouTube.
All right.
And the
Wow.
video does. And some little scenes that are like ooh, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
You see him
controversial.
biting his words as to what he should. What should I say?
Exactly.
How can I put this without saying the wrong thing?
You were correct, and that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's
But
all
I'm getting a
good.
little bit too old for that now.
Oh, we
um,
embrace all of it.
yes, but in 2017, I released the song King Bitch. The song is about my times doing what I do. That's from, the opening line, this witch
I don't know what to do.
don't take no standard pagan standard time, but I'll make time if you're worth it. You
Yes.
know, that's the start of it. If you listen to the rest of the song, it's about, no, I don't take this. I don't take abuse. If it turns into abuse, you're cut off straightforward.
Beautiful.
And one of the record producers I was trying to impress back in the day looked at me and said, "Well, you're just a little bitch." I said, "No, I'm king bitch." I don't know
Well
why it came out of my
done.
head. It did, but I was thinking about that for some reason, just thinking about back on my life, what have you, and
Right.
that stuck into my head, and I wrote a song about it, and I thought it was going to be just campy, and I probably wouldn't even release it, but it
Oh,
turned out pretty good, and I liked
It's
it.
it's very good. Love it, and it's in our promo. I just wanna just chime in, David. We have a lot of comments in the chat. We have several people that are really saying, "Yes, king bitch." That is it. Rob has commented on that. So we have several people commenting and saying hello. It really loved the song you just belted out for Star and I.
Oh, I
And,
love you.
um is there something that we need to know about? For example, you've been nominated now. Do we get to go on and vote, or is there a website or something that we should be voting
On my Facebook
on your
profile,
Facebook?
I, I,
Okay,
I,
perfect.
I will be posting the link to where you can
Excellent.
go, and it is a pay scale. It goes toward the International Pagan Music Association, and
Okay.
it's ipma.net.
IPMA.net. Thank
I,
you.
I
Thank you.
do believe I'm probably wrong, but I will correct it on my website if that's the case. But
Okay.
it's not ready for voting applications yet. I
Okay.
just got that I was nominated, so whew,
Oh,
uh,
excellent.
check it out. If I have two of those shiny things, that'll be great.
That's fabulous. Well, we have your website, so we'll just need to get and we'll make certain that definitely that info goes up on the YouTube page. What's coming up next event wise? What do you have happening?
Oh, the closest thing I know of that is coming up is, I think I am up again for the Dayton Pagan Pride Day in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio,
Wow, nice, nice.
and I'll release the date for that when it's made available. And as always, most likely, if it happens again this year, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Witches Ball.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
A
nice.
big- That
fabulous.
is a big event that always goes well. Jamora Matthews always rolls out the red carpet for all the artists who perform there. And it's just amazing. And yes, you can hear my music, all of my music from all of my albums. I have 7 that I've created throughout my life. And it is at davidwoodmusic.com.
DavidWoodMusic.com. And
Yeah.
that's what we've been
And
streaming.
she's putting it across the screen right in front of you.
Yes.
Check it out, people. There
Oh, well, I didn't see
you
DavidWoodMusic.com. Yes.
go. Yeah, yeah,
We're streaming that.
that's
I
great.
gotta put my
Awesome.
glasses on.
And is that where they can purchase some of your music, or can you tell us some of the places that that you
They
can purchase
can,
some of your music?
they can, and a lot of places love, a lot of people, I apologize, love to stream and download online. And I'm also available anywhere you download or stream music. I'm on, I
Fabulous.
started to say IHOP.
Not IHOP. Okay, fine.
I mean,
I don't know if IHOP carries music, David, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
I got little round things called pancakes.
your David Wood CD, or use it as a coaster at IHOP. Oh, anywhere. I mean, you name it. I was trying to
Right.
think of one particular app that everybody uses. I am on there as well.
Is it iTunes or
I
whatever?
can't believe I said
I-
um,
It's fine. So
It's okay.
anyway,
We got it.
all the usual spots. All the usual spots.
All
That's
the
awesome.
usual spots. Yes. And if you can't find it in your usual spot, email me and let me know. You can email me from the website, or you can just get it directly from David Wood. A lot of people do not realize that the artist that actually sells the music on their own website, it's trusted, and the purchase comes through CD Baby. It's an actual
Oh,
company.
perfect.
And
Yes.
if you use your credit card or whatever, it is very trustworthy. You do not have
Excellent.
to worry about being cheated or of any type. If so, email me and I'll raise hell because I like that.
Perfect.
Yeah, now you have I just had to let you know, now you have people saying that then now they want IHOP pancakes now. This is your fault.
Yes. You got some people hungry.
After
Got
this
some
interview,
people
I may
hungry.
go
Getting them
myself.
hungry.
I'm a fan of Waffle House. You know,
I'm with you on
Okay,
that.
okay.
the local radio station, the big one here in Columbus, Ohio, years ago, they had Grease off Broadway, playing.
Oh wow.
So for a big Grease giveaway, they gave away free tickets to Waffle House too.
Oh my
So
God.
that was
Wow, okay.
and that's perfect.
Chicken and waffles.
I
We've
never,
got
I never,
comments about
I've
chicken
never
and
seen
waffles
a
from
Waffle House, but
Amanda.
you never know. In my
Right
travels, I
on.
may run into a Waffle House. I've never seen them.
Really?
Well,
Oh,
I'm not. You know
Oh,
what it is?
they're got to
Oh,
come out west. You got to come further
actually,
west.
you know
You're in
what?
New York.
My son is letting me know that I've been there, and I just didn't know it.
Oh,
oh,
see? Okay. Well,
she's she's
I
drinking
guess when
again.
I traveled, or maybe when I was going down to when I was driving down to Hexfest, I don't know. Whenever it
yeah,
was,
that could have been.
So he's saying that I did. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of places. I know IHOP is around. I know IHOP is more famous, I guess, in a way.
See,
So
for
Yeah,
me,
but they're all over.
it's the only way I can get a down home family breakfast like my
See,
grandmother used to make.
well, okay,
That's why I love it. So.
that's the spot. That's the
yeah, yeah,
spot.
okay.
Well done. Well, I want to thank you so much for spending so much time with us and for singing
Yeah.
for us.
Yes, I love that. We had our own private serenade. Okay,
Yes.
Yes,
we had
I
that.
love you both, and thank you so much. I'm honored
Thank
for
you
you to
so
have.
much for being here tonight, and we enjoyed having this chat with you. And at some point throughout the year, we'll try to bring you back out again.
All my
Thank
Yes.
you.
fans and followers that were on everywhere. I love you. And without
Thank you.
you, there is nothing. So thank you so much.
Oh, you
Thank
are
you. And you had a
so welcome.
lot of comments in the chat. So we appreciate
Yeah.
everyone joining in for that.
I knew they would love the King Bitch one. They just love that one.
Yes. Yes. All right. Thanks so much, David.
All
We
right,
have a
Thank
thank you,
you.
spot
David.
from our sponsor.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night.
I know. That music always has me dancing.
Yes.
So,
Well, here
okay.
we are,
So it's
Starr.
astrology time, okay?
Yes.
So we are talking again. We're gonna do a part one of it, and a part two is next week. But we are talking about Saturn because it's in play right now and is set to kind of filter into our skies and activating that upcoming move into Pisces energy on March 7th. So this is great. It's moving from Aquarius straight into Pisces, where Saturn, the great planet of form, hits Pisces, the ocean of undoing, and will stay there until, like we said, February 24th, 2026. And when I want you guys to kind of think back, the last time Saturn's tour into Pisces took place, it was in the mid 90s. So if you get any of the things that happened in the 90s, in the mid 90s or so, reveals much about what's about this time around. And some of it you will kind of have to ask yourself, what lessons will you with this one bring? And you kind of have to say a saga, because in the mid 90s there was its own saga going on. but it also taught lessons. That's what Saturn does. So if you want to think about it now, kind of question to yourself, like, what kind of lessons will this saga bring? So Saturn and Pisces will shape a new future for us. So I want you to think of ruling borders and endings, because Saturn teaches us our limits, helping us assume whatever form we need so that we can meet our destinies in fighting shape. Be well prepared, because Saturn can manifest as Obi-Wan or Pai Mei, wise mentors instructing us in techniques of mastery, but can just as easily materialize as a patriarchal terror, which forces you to stand up for yourself and use your powers with purpose. Without Saturn, we would never realize our potential, take responsibility for our actions, and learn how to cope with the hard realities of life. Because we do know that there are a lot of people who cannot take responsibilities for their own actions. So maybe Saturn will help some of them kind of come face
Yeah.
some realities there.
Yeah.
So Saturn often stands for anything of the traditional kind, the patriarchal and capitalist, which must be reckoned with, because there's a lot of corporations that are doing misdeeds, and a lot of this has to be reckoned with right now or coming up in the next couple of years, either by rebellion, assimilation, or reinvention. And Saturn's arrival in Pisces kind of culminates what it began back in 1996. So it kind of plays itself, and it like a continuation.
Mhm.
Okay. So Saturn will force us to learn lessons on how to make order from the ethers of technology, culture, pharmacology, and you're kind of seeing a lot of that play right now, and spirituality. That's going to be a big thing for a lot of people in the next 2.5 years. And it will be a rough going. As Saturn moves from Aquarius into Pisces, all lessons will reach their climax point, helping us to find closure and wrap up any loose ends. Rhonda,
Lots
what would you
going
say?
on.
Yeah, a lot's going on. Go
So,
ahead.
yeah, on a global scale, Saturn's transits will deal with. I'm sorry. On a global scale, Saturn's transits deal with structures and monoliths. Some must fall so that new ones may be built. So with Saturn and Pisces, there's a built-in pressure to meet uncertainty with courage and discipline. Karmic tests will show you how to cultivate your spirituality, what Starr was just speaking about, face your fears of being submerged, and learn how to manage emotional intensity. So some of you may struggle with addictions, phobias, and irrational fears. With your Saturn in Pisces, your spirituality is grounded and your fantasies flow seamlessly with reality. You may take on the pains or joys of others as their experiences interplay with your own, but natal Saturn in Pisces also gives you a practical idealism that makes sure you're not lost in that energy for too long. Saturn is also known as the Lord of Karma, and as it travels through each sign of the zodiac, it ensures that all of our karmic checks and balances are paid. So if you have bills due, you will be paying them. It will also deliver all karmic rewards you've earned by leaving a gift to remind and reward us for all the hard work we've been doing. So as Saturn moves into Pisces, look out for your gifts from the universe. Stay open to what comes your way and see if you can honor, accept, and learn any hard lessons and how much you've grown into who you are today because of them.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And further with Saturn, I want you guys to remember that Saturn is the son of Lord Surya and Chaya, who rewards righteous acts and punishes those who follow the path of betrayal and whatever he considers to be evil. He is also known as the Lord of Karma and Justice. You know, when people kind of say, karma's going to get you, well, now you know where all that came into play. Okay. Because he is the taskmaster planet, or the teacher of the zodiac. That's why he goes through each kind of circles right through each zodiac sign. He's also believed to be the greatest teacher throughout the planets, the kind of teacher who actually teaches you the stuff you remember for years to come. You might resent the process, hate to say that, while going through them until you realize what valuable lessons you've learned. That's if you're willing to listen to it and see it as the lessons that they meant to be. Think of the energies of Saturn like having that master teacher that you always wanted to have, because it's going to bring harsh lessons, but it will push us to kind of bring us to our fullest potential. So when Saturn is done with us, we are left feeling wiser, a little bit wrung out, more mature, and more aligned with where we want to be. Okay. So I
Mhm.
want you guys to think of some of the things, because some of the themes that's going to hit with Saturn and Pisces, these are some of the themes that are going to hit with you guys, or you're going to see playing over and over throughout this 2.5 years. Let's see, revisiting the traditions or religion of our ancestors. Now, when I say that, I mean, with a lot of people, we think only of the ancestors of who we are in this lifetime. The kind of ancestors that Saturn is going to have the theme for is not just that, but they consider the soul to be the only immortal part of your body, of who you are. So it's also the ancestors of your soul. There's a lot playing there.
Mhm.
Let's see, does having you desire to understand our lineage, feeling creatively stuck or held back, feeling spiritually stuck or held back as you work towards your spiritual connections. There'll be a kind of a push pull between structure versus going with the flow, because a lot of us, I'm the kind of person like this, to give you an example, I kind of go, "Oh, whatever, let it flow, whatever it is." But I'm going to have to now kind of deal with, okay, I'm going to have to see which one I'm going to really be working through that with. And that's what most of us are going to be doing. A greater sense of grounding and structure to our creative and spiritual ideas, a desire to care for and show compassion to our fellow humans, something that we are in dire need of right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Greater emphasis on the well being of others, increasing sensitivity to our higher senses, issues around, oh boy, laws versus religion. That's a
Big,
big play right now.
big.
And that's what Saturn, isn't that interesting? That's exactly what Saturn brings. It
Mhm.
brought it back in the 90s, and here we are again.
Yeah.
And and why should it be intertwining at all
Mhm.
is the big question. Again, back to religion part, the religious issues in general that are going to play out. Why is
Mhm.
it so catalytic right now? And a need to rebalance how we give and receive compassion.
Yeah,
So that's some of the themes that you guys are going to see coming up.
right.
Yeah.
And as we look at Saturn and Pisces, some of the questions we can ask are, what does your spirituality really mean to you?
Yeah. And what are some tangible things you can do to turn your dreams into reality, right?
Mhm. Yep. Or how can you better understand yourself? That's self work, working on
Right,
you.
right, right. And also, it's going to have you thinking real hard. You know how David kind of mentioned how he is who he is and he accepts that.
Mhm.
It's going to have you thinking real hard about what does the word religion make um, it means to you, and how does it make you feel.
Yeah. And how
But
can you
mostly it's going to kind of ask you, how does it make you feel, how does that word make you feel. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot happening around that right now.
yeah,
How can you better express your compassionate side? Another key question for this period.
right.
So,
I'm,
uh,
I'm going to give you guys also a quick thing too. A lot of those questions and those themes are going to play out in your dreams. So I want you guys, when you go to bed at night throughout this time, especially after March 7th, start keeping a notebook next to your bed with a pen, so that whenever you wake up or whatever that you could remember, write it down. You're
dream
going to see a
journal.
theme start playing out and things start happening
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Just a little piece of note on today's news. There is a religious revitalism that's happening, a Christian religious revitalism in a little spot in, I think it was, may have been Ohio for that matter, where
Wow.
there's been a gathering of people at a tiny little chapel, and they're doing a lot of work. So lots of things happening around religion right now. Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
meantime, we are getting ready to do our next section. Tarot time.
yeah.
1 second.
And before we go, we wanted to let you guys know next week we will delve further into the returns and how it personally affects you and your sign.
Hmm,
Okay, so you guys can look forward to that. All right, on to the
perfect.
next
Next
section.
section. 1 second. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
So
All
time
right.
to pull a card.
Lord, yes. And this one is, and you guys can do it too. If you got, grab your card, your deck, and let's see what it says for you. But you're pulling one, you only one card because
One
it's a
card.
Saturn in Pisces, one tarot card pull. It's asking you to see what's pulled for you. And maybe if you want, you can do it every week, pull one card regarding Saturn and Pisces and what, how is it playing out for you and things like that.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's see what it kind of says for, and kind of how it relates to what we just spoke about with the astrology part. Okay, this
And
card.
my card was a jumper, so I'm going to go with what
Yeah,
it
my house
is.
is saying
you, did you
mine
have a
just can't
jumper
piss
as
me off
well?
too much.
I'm going to go, and I'm working with this week Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sturl. This is one of my favorite decks.
Ooh, that's so cute.
It
I
is,
have
and
that deck. I just got that deck.
oh,
I
I
have to.
love this deck.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful looking. Yeah.
And this is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. And my apologies for the bit of glare on that, but this is the card that comes up, and boy, is it matched very well with the energy that we're speaking about, and that going inward, and that's the dreaminess of it, and the need to understand what is the inspiration within. This person is literally on that next quest. Some look at this card as truly the beginning of the hermit's journey. So, this is something to consider. We are on that quest toward enlightenment, and this period does ask us to do a deep dive into that. That is deep dive energy.
Yeah.
Matches very well with what we're dealing with right now, Saturn and Pisces.
All right. And I know the glare part for me. I'm so sorry about the glare. Let me see if I can do this. Mine is the Ace of Pentacles. And if you look at it all around, first of all, it's front and center, and then all the greenery around it. That's it's like it fits in the middle of a bunch of trees and leaves and everything else.
Mhm.
Um, so it's kind of, when I looked at it, I kind of said, "Wow!" To me, it plays off of what we just spoke about. Again, based on religion, because it's front and center, it's in your face. And you know how a lot of people like to say they're reclaiming the who they are as a witch or whatever it is. This is not reclaiming. This is a throwback, going back to when, you know, it was what it was before the so-called reclaiming, or whatever it is, in the before times.
In the before times.
In the before times, kind of a thing, of
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's kind of saying, um how you view it, how your religion is a personal thing. That means that it can be, whether you're solitary or whatever it is that you do, that's your religion for you. It's a very personal thing.
Mhm.
And if you should be able to walk around proudly like anybody else with any religion. And I don't know, but a lot of it is like, what I see is people kind of saying front and center, take it
Front
or
and
leave it,
center.
this is who I am.
It's so interesting that that card spoke to me literally of the second bullet point we were speaking about right now. What are some tangible things you can do to turn your dreams into reality? It's about real world applicable things, and
Hmm.
it's right there in your face. So between the card that literally jumped out of my deck and the card that you drew, the Ace of Pentacles, I think it tapped into the energy of what we've been discussing
And
very,
I never had
very
a jumper
clearly.
before, and mine was a jumper today.
So both of ours jumped out.
Okay.
Things
I was
needed
like,
to be
where are you going?
tuned. Yeah, things need to be.
So
This is,
it's
and this right here, that figure who is traipsing off into the hills with that staff, backpack on, they are on that path of discovery.
yeah,
That's what we're in the midst of right now. So
yeah. Throwback,
Amazing.
throwback.
Well done. Well
All
done.
right.
So, before we jump off to the next, let us introduce you to who our guest will be next week.
Yay. All right. We will be
So,
so happy.
next week, I am
Yeah.
so excited to have Kenya T. Koviak joining
With
us
us.
next week.
Yay.
Some of you may remember she was part of our panel, the 2-week panel that we had. So now we'll be able to dive into a lot more discussion and go deeper into some topics. So yeah, I'm really excited, really looking forward to
I
that.
know, I know. She speaks her mind.
Yes, indeed.
You
Yes,
can see her
indeed. We need
almost trying to
that.
do this. So I'm like, I'm gonna hold my mouth. I'm gonna hold my mouth. But then
No,
it comes out. You're like,
it's
okay,
it's good.
a good thing.
Conversation is important.
Yeah,
And yeah, we'll have opportunity to dig into some deep topics, and I'm really excited for that. And yeah, the holding back piece. What did David say earlier? You
yeah,
mean witch or bitch? It's all good.
yeah,
It's all good. So
yeah,
I'm very excited about that.
yeah.
Well, before we wrap up tonight, are there any last words you'd like to leave our guests
Oh,
with?
just I can't wait to see you guys next week. Would be excited about that. But we wanted to say thank you for joining us tonight. And any one of your comments or statements that you guys made, we so appreciate it. Please do like, share, pass the word around, tell people about us, and come and join us every Friday night
Yes,
because we do enjoy the comments and people's interaction. We love to try to answer some of your questions. So, you can do that. All right. Thank you.
absolutely. We appreciate your feedback. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again this week. We will see you next Friday.
Yay.